All right, hello everyone, and welcome to the other, hopefully not 30-minute review of the other FF9 character that's out right now. Yeah, Vivi's still a week away, and 2 weeks away from whatever the hell is about to happen with Helena. If it tracks to previous kind of events like this, Helena should be hella broken. But anyway, today we're going to be taking a look at Garnet, who, for all intents and purposes, is definitely one of my favorite characters in all of Wotv history because this is it. This is the real summoner. This is the real deal. This is what I've wanted summoners to be for a very, very, very long time. And in that sense, this character is going to get nothing from love for, or nothing but love for me tonight. Is she going to change the meta? Absolutely not. Is she going to be the best character ever in her element? No. Is that a problem? No, not in my opinion. This is a great first character for a lot of people to kind of get their hands on because she has some support, she has some offensive capabilities, and thankfully she can do both the same hit, even some of the same abilities. And I think that's incredibly powerful. I actually like the direction that kind of I've landed with the Earth element. Earth has not been my favorite element for most of this entire year, but Renoa, locking into Dialdo, getting Renoa for free, who's one of my favorite Final Fantasy characters, and then getting Garnet, who is also another favorite of mine, all in the same element, is just really awesome. It's kind of pushed me towards loving the idea of just this all-girl party and Balo, who is also in here. Balo and his harem. Queen Mashiri, there's just such a wonderful earth magic thing going on to me. I also just like Dialdo in there too, because he fits right in with the mage category, and Urel is also pretty cool. All right, enough gushing. Taking a look at the way this character is built, for 90 costs compared to our friend Zidane, I have to say that quite well statted and fairly just well-rounded Garnet is. Artwork's all great too. Focus on, bro. Today we're going to be going up against the Thunder element. Now, is this fair? Not particularly, but I don't really care in the sense that it's pretty flat out where I think the power level of this character is just really good, but definitely not going to shake up the meta. So it doesn't really matter so much. We're just here to have a little bit of fun and demo the unit. So cool. Talking about the way that this character is built, you can see that her stats hold up pretty nicely with the composition here. There is obviously a little bit of overlap with the Sheratons and whatnot, but Garnet is very capable of stacking a very high magic stat because of just her natural equipment and some of the vision cards that currently exist in the game. She also is a character that if you are building her, I would really recommend focusing on reducing casting time, as that is the most common complaint that I've heard, and I'm basically tired of hearing it. But yeah, feels like a cool party to me, and I just kind of want to see it run. But anyway, Mace wielding 90 cost, 3 move, 1 jump character. Yes, she is limited, but you get the first copy for free. That's a little bit easier. Trust Mastery isn't particularly anything amazing. It's not bad either. It's just not really that amazing. You can see the stats here. The ability on it is a single cast 18 TP, nullifies poison, petrified toad for allies, and restores 15 AP. Pretty fine. The one thing I like is that it does have flexibility where and how you cast it. It's definitely not my favorite TMR. Not bad, just not great either. What I absolutely do love that they've done so far for Garnet is giving her this. Her weapon is really great. The magic the magic version of this is pretty nicely statted, and it comes with everything you'd essentially want for a character that has an offensive type AI, 30% magic boost for Garnet only, and magic attack up by 15, evocation gauge boost by 30. Perfect. Absolutely wonderful flavor for a summoner. And increases magic attack resistance penetration by 20 for all jobs that equip this. But Garnet gets a huge boost from it. And I'm very curious about how the box event piece of equipment, the accessory, will work for her. What it will give her as a bonus, because she's already pretty good there. Like this build right now that you're looking at, 29 defense, 20 spirit, 75 accuracy, 91 speed, 15 single target resistance, but 53 AoE resistance. Again, it just feels really solid, not broken, but really solid. If we look at her resistances to strike, slash, magic, major damage and very popular damage types right now. Weakness to spear and gunner, so she will kind of fall to those two. But overall net positive, I feel. For I guess we'll just go right into talking about supports while we have her on the screen. Just gonna pull them up. So one of her ones starts out very, very, very basic. So basic though that it's kind of just uninteresting, but it gets much better with 2 upgrades. It goes up to 12 spirit, spirit penetration of 40, AoE resistance of 15, and elemental chain resistance of 40. It has a lot of offense and defensive capability. Her other is just casting time, which is really important for her. This is kind of one where you really want a fair amount of sources of casting time decrease. So Esper choice as well as ability such as this is important. But if there ever is, like and I think this might be the one thing that she actually, or one of the things she gets off of the box event is a decrease in casting time by using the accessory, in which case that might open up some freedom to either use the magic up by 24% and decrease AP consumption by 25, which would be really nice for her. Increasing HP and lightning resistance, which is good against hunting lightning, or just a 30% magic boost or spirit and lightning resistance. Either way, there's some good stuff here. As for counter, pretty plain. Just counter all damage with a heal for herself, which is fine, not amazing. Her other 2 ones, though, Kotodama chance to counter all damage, reducing it by 30%, or 100% chance to counter missile damage, reducing the damage. I think Messenger / Kotodama is the one I like, but it is up to you which one you prefer. So we're done taking a look at all of that. Let's head into battle and we'll take a look at her skills. Now, Limit Burst dispels all debuffs for allies, does a 310 HP heal on a large AoE, and gives 10% attack resistance at the start of turns for allies. That's a big difference, just because it does really allow for characters to leverage the bonuses. So here, just taking a look at what this is doing with a 140 Garnet, we're getting like 9, 8,000, 11,000 HP heals. So this Limit Burst is kind of like Ayaka's, where you can get a really big turnaround here. You're not only healing too, you're getting rid of debuffs, and you're getting just an attack resistance boost of 10% across the board. That's powerful indeed. So yeah, I really like Garnet's Limit Burst. Not offensive or cool or super flashy, but it does feel like it is going to be beneficial. Kotodama has the move and jump up, it has stun, it has 100% hit chance, it has confusion, it has reduced magic damage taken by 50% for 3 turns, or 3 times, so a anti-magic barrier. I think that Messenger is pretty nice for it. We'll talk about what you lose in a second, but overall, I mean, it has movement, 100% hit chance, and just protection, so it's a pretty good set of skills for her. As for her, what is it called? Sword Sorcerer, I think. The I want to say that it's the Christmas Miranda job, but I feel like I'm getting that. Anyway, does give her a magic damage boost off one of her abilities, the one with the long range in the 4 cardinal directions. Also gives her disable, increases her slash attack resistance penetration, which isn't super important for this magic type damage character, so maybe you just cancel that one, but that's going to power itself up, so that's something. And it does give her shell and extra magic resistance, so it's not the worst sub job. Now, talking about her actual sub job abilities, we have to go to, where is it? We want, I believe, yes, this should be the one I'm looking for. So Dark Odin. So she actually does summon Dark Odin. She has a 25% chance of inflicting poison on enemies, which I think is pretty cool. I like I said earlier, one of the things I really like about this character is the fact that she does have these Esper-based abilities that are really like some of them are Wotv stuff because she's in the Wotv world, and some of them ring true to what her original kit was like in FF9, and that's just really fun to me. But a decent percent chance a lot of the times of just being able to inflict poison, which is a nasty stat effect, which, you know, the higher the HP the enemy has, the kind of more bonus you're getting from it. Cool. Her other ability is just kind of boring. It's not really flashy at all. It's just a heal. It's a single target heal. It's fairly powerful, but nowhere near as strong. So I think that her other sub jobs are probably better unless you really can get leverage out of poison. But yeah, probably Messenger is my favorite with Sword Sorcerers. But there it is. All right, so let's go through other abilities, and I guess, I don't know, let's start with some of the other offensive ones. So Dark Golem, this is one of her basic abilities. It has a 25% chance to inflict paralysis, which is a nice way to disable your opponent. 141 mod, so it's not the strongest, but I mean, if you're kind of getting this and potentially getting a status effect off of it. Wait, right one? Whoops, wrong one. There it is. Let's just take a quick, I think I mixed up Sheraton. No, it's Sheraton, sorry. Sheraton is her basic one. I'm getting the Esper. So this is the one with the paralysis on it. As you can see, again, doesn't feel as good as poison, but it can potentially, in certain cases, just change the tide of battle by removing one unit's chances of actually attacking. Very, very strong indeed. The other one that we were talking about was Dark Golem. And Dark Golem is, again, a single target attack. It's not very flashy, 185 mod, so it does more damage, but dispels courage / spirit. So yeah, it's not, again, not super flashy, but it is dealing a good amount of damage to the opponent. Then we get into the fun spell, Dark Bahamut, which is, for all intents and purposes, her big one that was advertised. So this one, you're getting a multi-hit style attack. It's non-elemental. Her other two are very much earth elemental, but this one is not. And it is fairly capable of dishing out some nasty stuff. Like, it is a 220 mod on this thing. It is a couple of hits. Decreases spirit penetration for 3 turns for targets, which potentially makes her more likely and her allies more likely to survive magic-based teams, which is really, really good. And you are dealing just a fair amount of damage, so all of that is nice, but then you also get the bonus heal. And yeah, so unfortunately we're gonna hit some people, but the name of the game. So casting time. And here you go. Here's the secondary effect. So we are getting the heal off of this. So you can see it's about a 4,000 HP heal, and doesn't seem like too terribly much, but it can be the difference between winning and losing if your opponent is, just not there. And as you can see, 140 Garnet, we actually are getting this attack pretty fast. And there's the heal back up. Pretty nice. All of that comes in very quickly. And this time we're going to try and be a little bit faster because we don't want the game to crash. That was embarrassing the last time and during the sedan. So yeah, pretty nimble, pretty quick. Last couple of abilities. So let's start. Basically, they're her support skills. Let's go through them. Her job level 25 ability is increase AoE resistance by 25 for 3 turns. Ally, grant shell for 3 turns for an ally, and a 200% chance of auto revive self, which is really great. That's very strong. It actually has 2 casts too, so you can get a little bit more out of it. You're essentially making your allies more likely to survive. Getting auto revive is pretty good too, because again, she'll just potentially come right back, start hitting the opponent again. From there, we have her 32 ability, in which case we are getting this, which is grants the following effect upon hit for allies: dispel, protect, and shell for 3 turns, increase magic by 40% for self, increase spirit by 20 for 3 turns. So more damage, more spirit, so she's good against other mages. But getting rid of Dispel and Protect is a pretty unique skill that she can grant for allies as well onto their attacks. So that is a potential answer towards a thing that's becoming fairly common. Lots of units do have ways of protecting shell, so go. And then here we have this ability. I think it's like Maiden's Defense or Maiden's Cry or something like that. Decreased chance of being targeted by 6, grants Protect for self, and grant Shell first, both for 3 turns at the start. So yeah, I think that this is a overall, I wouldn't say that her kit is really pushing any new boundaries or anything like that. It's just generally kind of solid and fun to have an actual summoner in the game who does summony type stuff. And yes, we did not run really much buffs or whatnot. You can surmise yourself from how increasing resistance and will change with it. Again, as I've said, Garnet is not going to be a new DPS milestone, but she is potentially going to be really fun to just mess with some opponents. So we take a look here, we can see what she's kind of doing here with Dark Bahamut. Well, let's fire off a Sheraton or an Odin or Golem. Let's go with, actually, let's do Odin, because we're not gonna see Odin ever again, are we? We can take a look here at what the casting time is like. Again, that's probably, as we've said, one of her weakest points, having that casting time there. Jump ahead. And I do think between the FF8 collaboration with Renoa being, good, and a mage, sorry, that sounded kind of flat, but there's a better way of saying it. But just having that kind of haste based character and healing character in Renoa, and then now having essentially an offensive character where we're looking at speed buffs, it's kind of a neat combination behind a magic based tank, because there's also a fair amount of synergy there. So yeah, I think that this is essentially a lot of what I've wanted for a while, where I've really wanted to see just a Esper base, like a multi-Esper character. And that's essentially what we've gotten with Garnet. And I'm very, very happy with that. We'll just wait a second here. Maybe we can, if we get one more turn. Nice use of the TMR skill there to boost it up. We'll use her limit burst here and just get that nice little heal. Renault is using Apocalypse on the lamp. By the way, shoutouts to this. This is the coolest thing in the FF9 collaboration, where Kuja's Castle does have the interaction where you light the lamps and the statues disappear. Really, really, really wanted to show that off in the Zidane video, but because the game crashed and reloading it would have been a little disruptive, and it was kind of at the end. Anyway, that's... Alright, let's do a limit burst and just heal ourselves right back up, shall we? Very nice heal of just everyone back up to full. And now everyone's got those nice extra resistances. So if we went in and just took a look at, I don't know, Charlotte, sure, she's more built than Dialdo. Nice bonuses across the board for our tank-based character, making us a little more survivable, and the opponent has used a lot of their AP, so yeah, seeming pretty good. So yeah, Garnet definitely not going to shake the world of Wotv, but she doesn't have to. Sometimes these characters are just for fun, and new players who are ending up getting Garnet, like, her equipment is just really good on its own for her. To get you started and whatnot, and then you can kind of just save and see what Helena's going to be like when she shows up. So anyway, I think that's it for me. I'm going to cut this video before we go any longer. Thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and see you.